Hello and welcome. I'm Rose, one of the jewelry designers here at Fire Mountain Gems and Beads. Using the Patina metal sheets we offer, I'm going to show you how to metalsmith a simple pair of Patina puzzle earrings. Let's get started. First thing we need, of course, is our beautiful Patina metal. Now this has a coating that's already pre-adhered and it's very strong, but just for my peace of mind, I will sometimes add a thin coat of this specter a fixative, to make sure that none of that flakes off while I'm sawing. Don't have to do this, I just feel more secure. So the first thing I need to do is create my puzzle piece pattern. So on the back of the sheet, I'm going to pick up a puzzle piece I've picked up from any old place I want to. This is a bit larger than I would normally use, but I want you to be able to see it very easily. Set that down on my patina sheet, and using any kind of permanent marker, and don't worry about the term permanent marker, just trace that piece out. And not to worry about any marks you may leave behind if you didn't do it perfectly, because this comes off very easily with alcohol. Good tip for your walls at home too when your kids get out of hand. Alcohol takes off permanent marker. Make sure it's on a safe substance, however. There we go. And there is my pattern that I'm going to cut out. The next thing I'm going to need is my saw. This is a jeweler saw. I need to add the blade. These blades come in bundles of a whole bunch of blades all at once, because frankly, especially when you're new to sawing, they're super easy to break because they're very thin. So the first step is to open up this little wing nut here, pop in the saw blade, and you want to check these. They have tiny teeth. I want my teeth to be pointing toward the handle, and I do that by feel because I can't see it. And I want them on the top surface. The other surface is smooth and you're not going to get much of a cut with a smooth surface. Okay, that's the orientation I want my blade in. Pop it in here with my blade in the right orientation. There we go. And tighten that up. Make sure I'm in the right place, yes. And again, I do that by feel. Oh, my blade's a little bit short for where I've got my saw blade set, but that's easy enough to fix. Just unscrew that, bring this in a little closer. There we go. Don't even need to be that close. These have lots of variables on these saws. Now this saw blade has to be at tension in order for it to cut. So what I need to do is provide a little bit of inward pressure on this side of it. Excuse me, but I do that on the edge of my table and my body. Just a little bit of inward pressure. Put the blade in, tighten the wing nut, and then release that pressure. I know this is a good blade. It makes that lovely twangy sound. That is now tight enough. Next, I'm going to be using this nice block to hold my bench pin. This is where all the sawing will take place. Set that right there into my bench pin. So we've repositioned ourselves a bit, and you'll notice I'm sitting in a much lower chair. That's because I want my eyes to be almost on the same plane as the metal I'm sawing, so I get a good view of that. And also, speaking of eyes, you always want to wear safety glasses when you're sawing. I'm using my own personal glasses, but we also have these at firemountaingems.com. Okay, so pick up my saw blade. First thing I need to do is add some lubrication, and I'm using beeswax. And that will prevent my saw blade from catching and snagging in my metal. A little hard sometimes to get it started. I just gently saw up and down until I can get myself a little groove and get myself started. You don't want to add a lot of forward pressure. You're not pushing into it. Let the saw blade do the work. So as I move along, if I want to make a turn, I'm going to gently turn the metal, not my saw blade. I keep my saw blade as if it were my eyes and an extension of my right hand. Just this gentle up and down movement. Don't do a lot of forward pushing. These saw blades are quite fragile, and if you get too crazy on them, they break. That's all right. They come in big bundles for that reason. There are something like that. If I need to change my position a little bit, I move my body. There we go. So you see, I made that turn. When I'm making a turn, a fairly sharp turn like that, I will take shorter, faster strokes, pretty much stay in one position and very, very slowly go around the corner. And you can see I'm just following my line. My eyes are focused on where that saw blade is connecting with my line I created earlier with the permanent marker. And all this takes is patience. You can cut out pretty much any shape. You can even make 90-degree angles. I'm rotating to get around a corner again. Shorter strokes. Not a lot of pressure. Another one of the difficult things is making sure you stay in that little keyhole there of sawing. You get so focused on your piece of metal, sometimes you will saw into your bench pin. Luckily, they're not terribly expensive, and you can get more on firemountaingems.com. But they can take a lot of abuse before you have to replace a bench pin. So I'm going around a pretty sharp corner now, so I'm doing short strokes until I get back onto a straight patch, and away I go. Now this is going to take a while, so we're going to cut away and show you one that I've almost completed. So here we are after I broke the blade, it happens, and put on a new blade, re-lube it, da-da-da-da-da. And we're going to go again. We're almost done now. Actually, this is a pretty big piece. To have made it that far without breaking a blade was actually pretty good. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Now, if you ever get in a situation like this one right here, notice that the back of my saw is not going to come around the corner of this metal. So there's no way for me to finish this from this angle. So I'm going to start over on the other tip. And this time, rather than backing my blade out through all that work, I'm just going to loosen up the blade and take it out. Yes, I am. There we go. And reattach my blade. A little bit different pitch this time. Okay, now I'm going to start again from this angle so that I can finish this cut. Now, it's a little tricky getting it started. Gentle up and down. If I get a little ups here, there we go. There we go, and we're started again. And you may notice this because we're very close to the piece, that the actual cutting takes place on the downstroke. The upstroke kind of smooths the cut, but really all the actual cutting happens on the downstroke. Now I'm going to turn a corner here. That's a pretty sharp corner, so I'll do a lot of short strokes and very, very little pressure. I'm basically almost making a little hole so that I can turn around in that spot. It's a pretty sharp little corner, so moving the metal, not rotating the saw very much. Using the metal, it's when you rotate the saw, that's when you break a blade. Consider that your personal challenge. See how far you can go before you break a blade. There we go, and we're on the road again. Almost done. There we go. And there's our beautiful little puzzle piece. Now, simple enough thing to take a pair of our great, wonderful hole punch pliers, punch the hole wherever you want it. What orientation do I want my earring to be in? I think I'll put it right there. I'm going to punch on the patinaed side because it'll make a rougher hole on the back, and I want the front to be smooth and beautiful and lovely, so I'll put the hole right there. Ta-da! Beautiful little hole. Then I've got all these great files that I can use to smooth out the hole. Make sure I don't have any sharp edges. Don't like sharp edges next to my neck when I make my earrings. And of course, using other files to get in and get any rough edges. Maybe I don't like that little bump there. I can make that smooth using my files. And ultimately, all I have to do is add the ear wire. Here's my ear wire. Open it up just like I'm opening a jump ring. Put it on the earring. And close it. Isn't that easy? Make your second earring and you're good to go. All you have to do is cut out the same puzzle piece, but turn it over. So I hope you enjoyed that project. And all of these materials, the beautiful patina sheets and all these other wonderful tools are available at firemountaingems.com. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy beading!